As oil gets set to post its first weekly drop in 5 weeks, Abiodun Adesanya, CEO, Degeconek, joins me for a global outlook and for a review of upstream activities within Nigeria's oil space. Abiodun, glad to have you join us for this conversation. Now, what are your thoughts first on the marginal field bid round and, of course, its growing national importance in Nigeria?
The national bid, the marginal field bid round, it's one of the key highlights of the industry that basically boosts local participation in the upstream sector of the oil and gas industry. The first one was done in 2003, and at that time, 24 marginal fields were awarded to Nigerian companies. And since then, we've seen the impact, especially when you look at companies like Seplat that developed practically out of that particular exercise at that time. So the same thing is being expected to be replicated in 2020 now, when we are having about 57 marginal fields on award. And we expect that this will definitely increase the economic development of the country in different areas, from employment to revenue to increase in the oil reserve for the country, to general knowledge and technology transfer and developments in all its ramifications. So this is something that is really good and is ongoing, and the level of participation is pretty keen and very interesting at the moment.
I'm glad you touched on the economy and unemployment and the other issues surrounding that. Now, given these current realities, what would you say is the nature of investments that we are seeing in Nigeria's upstream oil environment?
I don't have the exact figures, but I can tell you that, for example, in terms of total crude production, the marginal field companies have contributed well over 15% of the national production base. And that is quite significant, even though it's not very large, but it's quite significant given the fact that it's just the very beginning. Now we're moving into the second phase, and there are quite a lot of lessons that has been learned in the first one, which will be corrected in this second one. And hopefully we should see an improvement practically in the production base for the country, and that is very good for the country. The other very important point to note is that some of the marginal fields are actually thinking ahead and having the national interest at heart. For example, we have some of the marginal field companies going into refining what they are producing rather than everybody trying to export. So we've seen refineries being built, and they will use the oil from their fields as feedstock, at least at the initial phase. And that will give them opportunities to source for more crude locally. And that has always been the direction that we would like to see the
Abiodun,
industry
thank you for
go.
your time and thoughts.